Here is our roadmap for the semester, the syllabus. Now, the syllabus is from a template that is about 17 million pages long. So it's a pretty long document to get through. You should definitely read it. There's very important stuff here that you need to know, but I'm going to give you the highlights. So as you are going through it, you can pick them back out. First of all, there's my contact information. My phone will be updated when I have a phone installed. Like most of you, I am new here this semester, and they are just getting some of my technology up and running. Here are my online office hours. You can reach me in my office via email at these times. I be available for Zoom chats by appointment, Zoom chats for your conferences, things like that. Here is the course description. This is important so you know what general ed this is fulfilling for you. This is an introduction to the conventions of college level reading, writing, and research. It's emphasizing improvement in these skills, and its admission is determined with a test or scores or things like that. So this is one of your Gen Ed English credits. Here are the objectives. These objectives are about improving your thinking, your organization, your writing style, use of language, use of research, all the things that you're going to need in the college classroom so that you can succeed in the majors and the paths that you want to pursue. And it's also about learning how to do research and find the information that you need, not just, reading literacy, but information literacy. How do I find reliable sources to make my arguments? Because my point, my job, the reason I do this is so that I can help you make your voices heard. Because you deserve to be heard. You just need to know the tools you need to get that voice out there. And here are the tools for this class. We're going to have a English composition e-text and labs by Hawks. They're having a little technical difficulty there. That should be up and running next week. I will walk you through it. So these labs will customize all of your tests, all of your grammar stuff to you. You're going to take a pathway exam. You're not graded on that, but do your best. Because if you test out of things like, look, I already know my nouns and my verbs, I know these things, then you're not going to have to do that again. So you're not going to waste your time with things you already know, and then you are going to get support in whatever you need support for. You're also going to have a wiki, that is this site that we're on, and all the material posted on Blackboard, and an LMU email address so you check regularly. Daily would be preferable. So, it's a lot of technology all over the place. The only thing you need to remember is Blackboard. Because when you get into Blackboard, it will link you to everything that you need to do. So you just get to Blackboard, and from there, you can touch a button in a sequential order, and it'll show you what you need to do. So, because when you go to these learning units, first you have this survey. Please complete the survey after we finish talking about the syllabus. Hawks. All of the Hawks lessons will be linked here when all that is up and running, and you will just go to this every single week and do the assignment for that week. Everything else is broken up by weeks into 3 projects. And when you click on the project, so we're in week 1, let's go here, you notice you have these tools. You will just march sequentially through them, and it will, look, this one will take you to, when you click it, it'll take you here to the wiki. You go through that, you can then go to the syllabus quiz and launch that. You can then go to this group chat, and so everything you need, all of the links even to other things, are listed sequentially for you here. All you need to remember is Blackboard. So, back to our syllabus. Here are I've kind of broken down the class into 5 learning outcomes. You need to read. You need to read academic text, kind of stuff you need for school. You also need to learn how to read popular text and figure out what's reliable and what's not. What will make a good argument? You're going to need to practice research skills with scholarly and reliable sources. You're going to need to learn how to search databases because we're going to have to do a lot of this online these days. You're going to need college level writing skills, of course, with language, with grammar, with mechanics, structure, organization. And you're going to need online writing skills. That is an ability to convert traditional paper writing, text, academic writing, into online formats that are now necessary in our academic and professional world. And you're going to have to practice peer review. And the reason we're going to do all of these things is one, they're going to help you in your life, and two, I can write you great recommendations on being able to do all of this, because you will need somebody, believe it or not, to be able to attest to your ability to write, to research, and to work with others in a group on a large written project. So, and don't just take my word for it. Ask around. You'll find out you need it. Evaluations and assignments. You've got 3 projects, 3 massive projects, but they are broken down into baby steps where you have a summary due, and then another summary, and then a Venn diagram, and then you're going to make a draft, and little tiny things. So you put them all together week by week, and your project is going to be done at the end. And between that, you're also going to have daily assignments. So in these learning units, you not only have these steps for the project, but also the daily work we're doing that's building towards that project. Because everything we're going to do during those weeks is preparing you for that final project. You're not going to be going this alone. Your projects are research and respond to a help site. Have you ever helped an older member of your family make their phone work, given them directions? Have you ever tried to do it over the phone, talk them through how to update their computer from your cell phone with a bad connection? I know you have. That's what you're going to be doing on this project. How do you walk someone through directions on something like a smartphone, long distance? 2, we're going to be looking at online humor arguments. We're going to be looking at rhetoric and how do you make an argument? How do you make that online? And 3, you are going to make an argument about social media behavior or online education or online work, the sort of things that you have been doing for months and months and months. Now, chance to vent on it. And then, of course, there's Hawks, and occasionally I'm going to throw in extra credit. In fact, there's extra credit coming up next week. So if you're feeling like you're falling behind, don't stress. I got your back. Attendance and participation, approximately 100 points, so about 10% of your grade. And that's going to be whether we're in class face-to-face or if you are participating online because you can't be in class. So it's that participation, completing assignments, responding to the group chats, because you can still engage with your classmates even if you can't be present. This is discussion-based. So come ready to talk, ready to engage with not just me, but with people around you. Because I find it's a lot easier to do this in small groups together than to wing it on your own. We're going to use Blackboard, we're going to use Hawks, we're going to use a wiki, said before. Here is the sort of course outline, the timeline for these things. Week 3, week 4 through 8, we're doing humor, and weeks 9 through 16. And you'll notice so much of this time is going to be spent with things like conferences and workshops. And because I shift from more lecture teaching to more coaching as you are moving into a stage with more advanced projects, and I'm helping each of you individually reach your goals. And then, of course, you've got the Hawks, which you're going to be doing all year long. Transparency. You should know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what are the steps you need to go through to achieve the grade you want. So I have rubrics, and I will have annotated examples. That is, here's an A paper, here's why it's an A paper. We will go through those together with every assignment. So there's not going to be any wondering what I'm looking for. And your tasks, well, as you could see, your tasks are all laid out with due dates and times in a step-by-step pattern. And here, you can, your tasks are all just listed out there for you. That's going to be how it is for every project. And then the purpose. Well, we've been saying the purpose all along. The purpose is to prepare you to do what it is you want to do with your life, to give you the skills you need to talk about what you are already doing and already mastering, and use that academic and professional settings. Late work, I don't accept it. Now, of course, if there is any sort of emergency or whatever, you can't, I always work with you. Excused absence, yes, but post it in the right place at the right time, because I find when you're trying to make things up, you just get behind on your other work and it just snowballs. Better to leave it and keep going. And I give extra credit to help you get through. Sharing student work, clearly this is collaborative because we're doing things like peer reviews. I always ask before I post anything of another student's on one of my pages. Media policy, we're clearly using our computers and we're going to be using them professionally. Plagiarism, just don't do it. That is taking someone else's work and saying it's your own. Now, a lot of you would never plagiarize, but you might have a paper from high school, an idea that you think, well, I could reuse that here. Resist the impulse. Because sometimes in high school, a teacher gave you a source or a quote or something, and you didn't need to cite it because it was, the prompt for the assignment. But now if you turn that into turn it in on Blackboard, it'll get cited as plagiarism because it is in fact someone else's work, and it's like, oh, I didn't mean to, it's just so. Whenever you're reusing something or you're unsure, come to me, I'll help you. We can figure it out so that we're sure that you've either given credit where credit is due, or you have everything, your own ideas, and in your own words. Important dates to know. Last days to add, to drop. No one's going to want to drop because we're going to have so much fun. Midterms, homecoming, final exams, commencement. Here's information for attendance, withdrawals, administrative withdrawals. Be sure you keep your eye on that. That is, if you are not attending or participating, and it's reported to the registrar's office after a certain number of time, you will be withdrawn by the registrar from a class. Students with disabilities, let me know. I always accommodate you. Happy to help. Harassment, misconduct, not going to have any of that. Okay, continuity. So the continuity clause is whether in-class classes are going on or canceled for any reason, whether it's weather or health-related issues, this class will continue. As you can see, it's all set up so that you can participate face-to-face in the class, or you can participate online. And we will keep that going. We will add in technology as we need if we're not able to keep meeting face-to-face. So we will be using Turnitin, as I had stated earlier, as part of Blackboard. And there's the right to alter and change things. But if I ever do that, I like to have things set from the beginning. We're pretty set where we are now. If there are any changes that need to be made, I will always notify you. So let's have fun this semester.